Okay, members, I got a video I want to talk about after making about 50 gameplay VODs for called Echoes of the End, developed by. This is the first game by Mercure Games, I believe. Let me check notes. Mercure Games and published by Deep Silver. Came out a couple days ago, August 12th. Um, there's a lot of good things about this game, a lot of bad things about this game. First off, I want to show some respect to the developer. I read a little bit about them and how they started as a two-man team and how they fabricated drones and whatnot. So I got a lot of respect for them making this game to what it is at this point and what I'm playing. And I'm 4 chapters, almost completed 4 chapters, so I'm almost halfway through it, or close to halfway through it. And I am playing on the PlayStation 5. Right off the bat, it was bad. I played start the game in performance mode, and then I came across a glitch where I had to restart the game. An enemy would not be destroyed. It just kept hitting it and hitting it, and to the eventual point I had to go out to the title screen and restart the game. So that was a bad glitch. But the good news, is that I switched it to the quality mode after that, and since I switched to the quality mode, through the first chapter, I had no issues with it. The footage right now you're seeing is on quality mode. I am still having little glitches. The combat in this game is extremely janky. Both characters are named Ren and Abram, by the way, and I get a lot of, or have gotten a lot of God of War 2016 and Ragnarok and Banishers and the recent Tomb Raider games vibe off how the world, the combat, Hellblade too, because this does take place in a high fantasy Iceland with Vikings and stuff. So it looks a lot like Hellblade, and the game looks amazing, but there is a lot of jank when it comes to the combat, to the point that the combat just isn't up there yet. It's not. It's I'll say, just below average as far as the jank of it is concerned. And it's not a Souls game, so I'm not like comparing any Souls game. It's its own game, obviously, but it does have a lot of jank. And the thing is that, but the good thing about this game is that they did a good job separating combat, exploration, walking sequences. You collect stuff, you talk, puzzles. There's actually too many puzzles to me in this game. Now, they're all environmental puzzles. Think like God of War Kratos, using his axe. How he uses his axe to do puzzles and stuff, or Banishers using puzzles. They got a couple different type of puzzles in this game here, Echoes of the End. They got a puzzle where it's called, God, what's the name of it? Where you use like this crystal object called Performer. I forgot what the name of it. But it can rewind structures from like a destroyed bridge to like you being able to cross a bridge, because you're gonna rewind, when it was destroyed. There's a lot of games that have that time mechanic to it. This has that. That's one of the type of puzzles. Then you got a puzzle where you gotta alter, areas of the map to progress, to climb certain areas or whatever, or to place statues or statue type puzzles. There's all types of puzzles. Okay, it's gotten to a point. Well, I was in chapter 3, I believe. There was just too many puzzles. I actually got tired of playing so many damn puzzles. But design wise, they have all been pretty good. Actually, design, there's just too many of them. Like I'm in, at the end of chapter 4, there are these lock puzzles where you're also in a boat. It reminds me so much of God of War 2016 with Atreus, except now you're a woman, a warrior woman Viking, and an old scholar. I mean, her name is Ren, his name is Abram, and he basically acts like Atreus. You press a button, he like throws magic at the enemies and stuff. No different weapons as far as I know. There are different abilities through Ren and Catalyst, ways of upgrading Abram with Ren and stuff. But the weak points are the combat. The weak points are the traversal, because there's just too much jank. The strengths of this game, I believe, are the visuals. The world itself is really good. It's interesting enough. You could say it's generic. I don't play a lot of games in Iceland, so it's not that generic to me. besides Hellblade, which were pretty decent games. But yeah, this is a straight up, like action adventure, third person, harken back to the days of PS3, Xbox 360, and PC, those type of games, those third person adventure games. That's what this reminds me of. Yeah, there are abilities. So there are like light RPG. You can like focus on different types of magics, powering up her abilities, her skills, her traits and stuff. Um, Story. Basically, you're looking for your younger brother. You start the game escorting your younger brother, Core, and he makes a stupid decision. I'm not going to get into it, but he gets into it with the main antagonist. And now you're searching for him, Core, with Abram, who I actually like. I like side characters like that. They got the little witty banter, They're always in good spirits. They're intelligent, I like. So I do like the dynamic between Ren and Abram. That's a strength, I think, as you play, because it's basically them two. Think of Kratos and Atreus. That's basically what this is. Enemies, pretty bland. The combat is pretty bland with a lot of jank. It looks good while you're playing and stuff, but that's about it. The combat is weak point. The puzzles are a strength. I say the pacing so far through 4 chapters, the pacing is a strength. Through the combat, the puzzles, the walking sequences, the exposition you're getting of the history of, vestiges, the world and stuff. It is a fantasy game, so you need some lore, right? And another thing I like about this game, obviously I haven't beat it yet, but it's supposed to be about 10 to 12 hours from what I understand. So I'm close to halfway through, and I did it pretty fast. So that's a good thing. Some people got lives, man. They don't have all the time to play 30 games a year that are like 50 fucking hours, a game. So I appreciate that this is a short game. And I want to make it clear that I got, this isn't a terrible game, okay? It's not. It has a lot of jank though that pisses you off. Like, for instance, like this water wheel sequences. Like, this just got a lot of jank. You know what I'm saying? So if you're cool with the Euro jank, it doesn't bother you at all. You think it's real charming. You will like this game overall. Like, overall, you will really like this game. But for me, if like I had to, like, you put a gun in my head and say rate this game right now, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. I mean, it's easily an 8 game if the combat was better and a tad less puzzles. Like I said, the puzzles are interesting and they're within the world, design of the world and everything. And they give you exposition of the world, like the 8. There's a statues puzzle called the 8. Like, what's the 8? Like these 8 gods and stuff. So it's thoughtful, It's a beautiful game, I think, visually. And it's thoughtful. But, yeah, there's just some definite rough parts of it. There's some definite rough parts. And like I said, I have a lot of respect for this developer. Because this is their first game also. I don't know if I was clearing that. This is their first game. Okay? So I give them a lot of credit and I got a lot of respect. Because you could tell if this is their first game, the next game will be better. It will be better. And you could tell it's passion in it. Because like I said, I can't think about a lot of Viking games I play that take place on like a high fantasy Iceland and stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And the price point is $39.99. If I'm not effing that up. Pretty sure I paid $39.99. I bought this game with my own money. So, I ain't got nothing to lose or lying to you or telling it's good or bad. It's got some bad and it has some good. That's what this game really is. But I think if you know what you want, like you want a shorter game, that got jank in it, but you want a game that has its own like world, of adventure and some lore and stuff. You want to get lost in for a little bit, and you could deal with the jank and you could deal with the puzzles. I say buy it actually, But if you don't like jank, I would not buy it. It has a lot of jank in it. So. And members, thank you again for becoming a member of Jason's Video Game Source YouTube channel. And if you can, check out some smaller creators to keep the YouTube ecosystem going. I'm sure there's some guys and gals you might want to check out in the future. Also, check out my brother's streaming at Bobby Vegas Gaming. You probably already know about the website, so I won't say it. Jason'sVideoGameSource.com. But members, thank you for becoming members of this YouTube channel. I appreciate it a lot. It means a lot to me. You know, that's why I'm doing these videos. I'm doing these for the members. These are just for you guys.